It's back to school month, Sky Watchers. All sorts of things have happened to talk to your friends about. Like, NASA has released time-lapse footage of the Psyche spacecraft's flyby of Mars on its way to the asteroid Psyche. The craft received a 1,000 mile/hour gravity boost from the red planet. A discarded piece of a SpaceX rocket impacted with the moon, kicking up dust and possibly leaving a crater. Not the first time human debris is impacted with the moon, it's a problem. And the Nancy Grace Roman Space Telescope is still on schedule to launch at the end of the month from Kennedy Space Center. Today, we're looking at what kind of schooling it takes to become an astronaut. What do astronauts major in? How many astronauts have been to space camp? Do they still put trainees in that spinny thing? Just how much math do you need to know? Answers to this and more, let's discover this month's sky. Outside of the dome, no surprise, we spot the sun. What we can't see is the moon, because of the sun. Around this time yesterday, the moon was west of the sun. Tomorrow, it will be east. But today, the sun and the moon line up, resulting in a brand new moon. So why isn't there an eclipse? There is, just not for us. Parts of Greenland and Spain witnessed a total solar eclipse today between the hours of 11:30 and 4. Nearby countries experienced partial eclipses, but here in Danville, we got nothing. The next total solar eclipse to cross the contiguous United States will be in the year 2044. The longest total solar eclipse for the next 100 years, expected to sustain totality for at least 6 minutes, will take place in August of next year, but will happen overhead in Egypt, near Luxor. Overhead in Danville's early evening sky tonight can be found bright Venus, and later in the night rises Saturn. The two currently aren't sharing the same sky. Sunday, Venus and a sliver of a lunar disk travel close by, and August ends with Saturn and the moon as travel companions. The moon will reach fullness on the 28th with a partial lunar eclipse, complement to today's solar eclipse that will be visible from Danville. Beginning around 9:30 p.m., the moon will pass through the penumbra of Earth's shadow, reaching maximum umbra coverage a little past midnight at 12:14. From Danville, 93% of the moon will be covered in shadow at that time. Unlike solar eclipses, lunar eclipses require no special gear for safe observation. So, you like space, really like space, want to go there and explore, visit the moon like Artemis II mission specialist Christina Cook? You're wondering, what does it take to become a NASA astronaut like Christina Cook? Well, there's a list. NASA astronauts must be citizens of the United States of America. ESA, Roscosmos, JAXA, other countries' space programs have their own citizenship requirements. For the American Space Agency, you've got to be an American. A Grand Rapids-born Michigander, Christina Cook is a U.S. citizen. Eligible astronaut candidates must hold a master's degree in a STEM field, or have equivalent education such as a medical doctorate or training from a specialized pilot school, more on that later, but STEM! Now we're talking. Christina Cook has a Master of Science degree in electrical engineering from NC State University in Durham, North Carolina, just an hour down the road from the Danville Science Center. Before that, Cook received her Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering and Astrophysics, also while at NC State, and before that, she was a high school student and a middle school student, and went to elementary school, and all that time she was discovering her world through math and science and creating and doing. Calculus. An understanding of college-level calculus is the minimum amount of math you need to know to be a NASA astronaut. And it makes sense. Calculus is about functions. It's about moving and doing and change. It's where math interacts with the world and makes physics so much easier. The derivative of velocity is acceleration, the derivative of acceleration is jerk, the derivative of jerk is snap, and all of this is really cool science wizardry when you understand derivatives, which happens from studying calculus. But you don't have to wait until college. Take algebra. It's just puzzle solving. Geometry helps us measure our world. Trigonometry helps us measure things we can't reach, like the world. Math is an excellent place to start in the journey towards becoming an astronaut. Astronaut learning is hands-on learning. Astronauts train in not just flight simulation, but in spacewalking and the use of robotic arms. Visit your local science center to see if they have a robotic arm you can begin learning with today. If you really want to get your ears wet, then you can immerse yourself in a summer of astronaut life at Space Camp at the U.S. Space and Rocket Center in Huntsville, Alabama. 10 graduates of Space Camp have gone on to become astronauts with NASA or ESA, including Christina Cook, who went 5 times. A well-rounded education includes health and wellness. An additional astronaut requirement is the successful completion of the NASA Long-Duration Astronaut Physical, a series of medical and psychological exams that measure a candidate's bodily preparedness for space employment. Our bodies are not used to life in microgravity. It takes its toll. Standards for blood pressure, eyesight, and height so as to fit into a spacesuit are all collected on potential astronauts. The spinny thing, called an aerotrim or multi-axis trainer, is no longer used by NASA. But the other spinny thing, yeah, they still use that. Astronauts are required to regularly work out, and their vitals are continuously monitored while off Earth to best maintain crew safety and mission success. Starting with a confident baseline is a good start for future space explorers. Finally, NASA astronaut is not a starter job. Candidates are required at least 3 years post-master's degree relative experience, or a medical residency, or 1,000 pilot and command hours in a high-performance jet aircraft. You need experience. Christina Cook worked as an electrical engineer for Goddard Space Flight Center and Johns Hopkins University Applied Physics Laboratory, was a research associate at Palmer Station in the South Pole, and was a field engineer for NOAA, all before being selected in June 2013 to become a NASA astronaut. She didn't start with Artemis, she started with algebra. Be like Christina Cook. Go do your algebra. Scorpius is crossing low in the sky, which signals summer's approaching end. Join us next month as we welcome fall and the discoveries it brings when we return the second Tuesday of September, September the 8th. Thank you for watching and keep discovering.